Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up and a rundown of the Death of a Businessman lab. And so I have the handout here and some outlines to help you along your way. So this is the lab. Now the pre-lab assignment is going to be pretty big because we're dealing with solution concentrations. So we want to make sure we know what units are going on. So you're going to go back to page 79 and then there's a whole section in that unit called solution concentration units. Okay, there's a whole section of the lab book. And so there's 3 sections, A, B, and C, that I want you to answer the questions on. And so there's several parts to each of those, but it's important for you to know what units that we could be dealing with in terms of concentrations. For this lab, I gave you the blank PowerPoint because maybe it will help you with some of the calculations or whatever. So if you want that, you can click the link here. And then the lab video that Dr. Stewart made is right here. She does a really good job. If you have a chance to tell her how awesome her lab videos are, I would suggest you do that. They're just really good. As you go through the lab, you're going to have to fill out a beginning table, and then chemistry starts, and then keep in mind here that the data is going to start around 6.5 minutes into the video, but before that you'll see a picture. You don't want to use the picture to derive any sort of conclusions from. It's just a picture for illustrative purposes here in the chemistry section. So make sure that you just use the data that starts at around 6.5 minutes. And then the end of the lab is analyzing your data, and that's going to be the interesting part. As long as you can plot a point, plot a curve, and you did well on the previous lab where you're doing some calibration curves and solution prep and things like that, this lab should be pretty good. So here's the post lab, a couple of questions on page 98, and then once you get done with that, all you need to do is email it to me. Okay, so there's the Death of a Businessman lab, and have a great day, everybody.